3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? It's Ash on Comics. This is time for a late night stream, reading comics before bed. Good to see you all. I see you guys show up early. I'm very thankful that you come here and give me someone to talk to. I hope you're having a good night. I was, I kind of had a busy YouTube day today. I was on Comics Aficionados this morning talking about, culture war nonsense. And then just recently I was hopping on England Teen Stream talking about some fun stuff. I think that stream is still going, actually, so I'm even more thankful that you guys are here and not there. Not that I want to compete with England Teen in any way, shape, or form, but this is a pre-scheduled stream, so, I can't help it if he streams during me. And then I got this, so let's see who's here first. It's Jimmy, Superman's friend. How timely, considering what we got in store tonight. He says, "What's up?" He says, "Ha ha ha, first this time, bitches." Dane Barrett is number 2. And you know what number 2 stands for? Yeah, you do. Some of us have outside lives, LOL. Hey, Jimmy. We went up to Oakbrook Friday and Barnes & Noble, and my beautiful wife bought me Volume 1 of Middlewest. What? Dude, some people lead charmed lives. I gotta tell you, what a blessed man to have a wonderful wife and buy him a Middlewest trade paperback. Melissa's in the house. Says hello. See you at 1 a.m. Okay. Dragon Majesty's here. Good to see you. RDV. I know he's not actually here. He's probably multitasking. This is the only guy that can watch multiple streams simultaneously while reading a comic book and participating in a stream. He's the literal Max Headroom of comics. And if you know who that is, then you're probably as old as I am. He'll be with you in a few minutes. Ed's here. Good to see you, Ed. Tahilum. Anyone else? Maranya. Ash is becoming, gasp, mainstream. No. I don't know if I'm becoming mainstream. Just because I was on Aficionados. I've been a member. I'm one of the original Aficionados. I'm one of the original 4 horsemen of the Aficionados, even though I don't make many appearances these days. And I don't know when my first time getting on England's team stream was. It feels like it's been a long time. Dane says, I wish we could get him more subscribers. Well, you can. You just smash that like button. My subscriber count actually took a dip when I started doing these storytime streams. I started losing subscribers. I was like, oh, this isn't working. But I'm back up to 666. That's not a good number to have. So hopefully I can gain at least one more. Because I've already hit that number once, and then I went down below it. But I'm started doing videos again. I mean, I went a couple of months without making any videos because of the whole COVID thing. So maybe I can bring some people back. To be honest, when I started this channel, I wanted to get at least 100 subscribers. I was like, if I can get 100, that'll be worth it. And then I was like, 500 would be great. If I could hit 500, that'd be amazing. And then I hit 500. So I was like, I'm really happy. I do want to hit 1,000 only because that's when a lot of the things unlock at YouTube, right? Like I hate how you can't put community posts until you hit 1,000. Like that's such a cool feature to have. Obviously you can apply to monetize. There's just different things once you hit 1,000. So that'd be nice to be able to at least hit that mark and then be a real YouTuber, I guess. But honestly, just having you guys to talk to late night is a fun enough. I don't fancy myself, the next PewDiePie for sure. Dragon Match says Ash must be hitting in and out late night. They're still open. They are still open up until, let's see, Sunday it'd be open till 1 a.m. Let me submit. I did have a really good burger today. My buddy took me down. There's a food truck that we just discovered. I took some pictures. Maybe I'll post it. It's called Badass Burgers, and it's a food truck. And I had seen it on the road a couple times. I was like, oh, I want to check that because I'm a burger fiend. I love burgers. And so we went out. Was it yesterday? We went out, and he's like, oh, I'm going to take you somewhere. And I was like, what? He's like, oh, surprise, whatever. So we went, and he's like, oh, I saw this place. So we had these burgers, and they're pretty damn good burgers. And then we just went again today. So yeah, I've been burgering it up, but as good as they are, I did really like them. In-N-Out has still got that special place. I just never get sick In-N-Out. It's like the perfect burger for me. Let's see. Dane says, she is the only thing charmed about my life. Well, my friend, you have to count your blessings, because you could not have that. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but not everyone has what you have. So, we all have the things that we deal with, but a good woman at your side is a blessing that we all don't get to have. Ryuk224 says, hopefully I can hear you with all the other people finishing up with their fireworks. Oh man, you got fireworks still going on? Crazy. Man. Southern California had crazy fireworks going on. I thought it was kind of busy here. Then I went on Twitter. Did you guys see the posts of the LA fireworks? One of the news channels did like an aerial view shot where they're flying over LA at night, and it's just surreal. I retweeted it. It's I've never seen anything like it. Like the whole city is just fireworks all over the place. It's really beautiful. It's cool. And it was kind of inspiring too, knowing that fireworks were illegal in LA and the whole thing, like the lockdown. And it was like that resistance spirit of like, no, F you. It's the 4th of July, stupid tyrants. We're not going to, I like that civil disobedience. Because, believe it or not, I'm actually a huge believer in civil disobedience. Even though I'm massively against the riots, because civil disobedience doesn't mean looting and pillaging and beating people up. Civil disobedience is you're not allowed to have fireworks, and you go, oh yeah, watch me launch this firework. It's like that sort of stuff. Especially when everyone gets together and does it, and you can't stop them, and it's like, we're locking you down. Really? No, you're not. Marani says, I remember when Max Headroom plugged at Diet Coke before his short-lived TV show. Yep, that's where it started. It was funny. I do believe, if I remember correctly, that TV show spawned from a commercial. Can you guys imagine that? For those of you who aren't ancient like me, a commercial being so popular that they made a TV show out of the commercial. That's crazy. Yeah. So thanks, Ash. I thank God she's in my life every night in my prayers. Awesome. I'm very happy for you. For those little blessings, you gotta treasure the ones you have. Melissa says, Jason DeMarco keeps going full Trump derangement, and he will make Toonami go off the air again, and there will be no more chances of it coming back. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched Toonami in forever. I pretty much try to avoid a lot of the mainstream media. Unplugging is one of the best things I ever did when it comes to that. There's some good shows and stuff out there, and nowadays I kind of just wait for everything to feel like I just let the cream rise to the top, and you hear about people talking about like, oh, this is amazing. Like The Boys is one of the shows that I watch. I didn't watch it when it came out, but everyone was talking about it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go check this out, and then I was like, yeah, I really like this. I don't have to sit there and go through all this garbage to try to find something good. I can just wait and go, oh, these people have been saying that. I'm gonna go check that out, and then I do, and I just ignore all the other garbage. I didn't think of anything to talk about. One of the problems of me being on stream twice today is I kind of talked myself out. So I'm kind of just like struggling to be like, yo, what do I talk about? Um, this is where I'm relying on you guys being in the chat. Hopefully giving me something that's that's worth discussing. Nalo's here. Hey Nalo, man, I haven't seen you in a while. He says I'm here for the gab. Right on. So what comics is everyone getting? Are you guys still getting comics? They're back in business, I hear. You can go to the store and get yourself some comic books. I am getting Hawkman. You guys watching my views? I've been putting up some videos. I did one Saturday that talks about the Dean Cain incident. And Eric, can you believe it? Eric Breen even gave me a compliment. He said he liked it. I was like, holy shit. If Eric likes it, it must be at least a 2-star video. Now says, Ash, are you reading any indie books? Well, it's funny you should talk about that because I feel like half of what I read is indie books. Yeah, I do. Of course, I'm huge on Ascender. I think there's a new issue coming out that I'm really looking forward to. That's a good book. I'm getting Decorum by Jonathan Hickman, but I have not read issue 2 yet. I kind of fell off the rhythm a little bit there because that first issue came out and I was like, oh man, I really like this. And then, 3 months went by of COVID and you just sort of like, and then the issue 2 came out and I was like, this is this book that I like. But comic reading it's kind of like a habit. And if you get out of the habit and you're doing other things, it's easy to like forget about it, or it's hard to squeeze it back in because you're like doing other things. So I need to force myself to do that. Nala says, yeah, last week I got Devil's Highway, Nailbiter, Negan Lives, and The Plot. I didn't even know Negan Lives was coming out, and it came out on that stupid Wednesday last week where like no Marvel or DC, like it was that really stupid off week. So I didn't even go to the store. And then of course I see, Negan Lives. Great. Now it didn't really bother me that much because I didn't buy any Walking Dead comics until the last issue. But it's because I missed the bus, and I buy those gigantic phone book omnibuses, which are a really good deal, by the way. But I bought the last issue because I was like, I want to kind of commemorate this, like this is a big thing. And funny enough, that last issue doesn't appear in the last omnibus. So if you want the whole story, if you get all 4 omnibuses, you still got to buy the last issue. So lucky me. Nala says Decorum 2 makes things make way more sense. Awesome. I cannot wait. Speaking of indie comics, man, I saw a Twitter post. I guess Donny Cates has 3 new creator-owned books in the pipeline. I'm like, what's going on? It's causing some people to speculate that maybe Donnie's moving away from Marvel. That would be bad for Marvel fans. I only buy 3 Marvel books, and 2 of them are Donny Cates. It would mean that I'm only getting Daredevil if he left, because I don't see anyone at Marvel capable of writing Thor or Venom. So not in a way that I would be interested in. So hopefully that's not the case, but also hopefully, like, can you write that many books, Donnie? Or are you just going to write hacked out crap? Because I don't want stuff that's just barfed out and half-assed. I want good stuff. Let's see. Melissa says, White Knight Earth have any DCAU or Tim Burton history on how old his Bruce is in the White Knight? He was born in the 40s, is immortal, or is he using Lazarus Pit or Free Sick? Not. So Melissa, White Knight is a alternate. It's when Sean Gordon Murphy originally launched the White Knight, he said that in his mind it took place in the DC animated stories for like the cartoon series. And then as it went on, I think he modified that to be the Murphyverse, and that Murphyverse is sort of this realm of his own imagination that incorporates the things that are in his Batman headcanon, like the movies. So it has like the Tim Burton movies. It has, you know, the recent movies, the trilogy, Christopher Nolan, the Batman animated universe, and it's sort of this hodgepodge mix of these ideas all formed to make his idea of a Batman universe. And so it's not the comics Batman, so it's not having to follow any sort of continuity in that sense. It just makes it up from scratch. And Tehillim says Elseworld. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's essentially the same thing as the movies are, right? We don't watch the Christopher Nolan films and be like, oh, right out of the comics. It's totally not. It's just its own reimagining story. So let's see. Ryuk says Ash doesn't want Kates to become Colin Bunn. Well, that's true. I don't. I don't think Colin Bunn was ever Donny Cates, though. So prove me wrong, I guess. Let's see. Ed says Chip could. Chip could what? Chip could make me keep reading Thor or Daredevil or Venom. I don't know if that's what you're saying. Chip Zdarsky's keep me reading Daredevil. I know the guy can write 2 books because he was writing Invaders, and he's not writing Invaders now. He's only writing, as far as I'm aware. Oh, he's got that miniseries that has been kind of put on, the Fantastic Four X-Men miniseries, which is kind of fun. I mean, it's the only thing I enjoy out of Dawn of X. So kudos to Chip Zdarsky for making a total dumpster fire into something I can enjoy. But it's not as fun as it is. It's not at the level of Daredevil. It's certainly not the level of Spider-Man Life Story, which, by the way, you guys got to read Spider-Man Life Story. I would like to see Chip. I would like to see, please, in a perfect world, I would like to see Chip do Captain America. Please fix Captain America. Do for Captain America what you did for Daredevil. Holy crap. That would be amazing. Especially if he could stay on both books at the same time. Because Cap's an Avenger, but he also fits on a street level. So I could see potentially doing a little crossover. But the reason I say I want Chip Zdarsky to be on Captain America is because Chip knows how to write a human drama. And I would love to see just him fix the character of Cap with the skills that he has. Ta-Nehisi Coates does not have it. He's just writing this crap Antifa garbage, and it's bleh. So let's see. Melissa says, my son got a George Clooney Batman pop. Cool. You know what I want? I want a Frank Miller pop. I got Stan, the Man, and I'm like, give me a Frank Miller, please. That would make me very, very happy. There's another Stan Lee pop coming out too. It's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I was thinking about trying to figure out how I can get it because there's no San Diego Comic-Con this year, so I don't know how they're gonna release it. But it's Stan in like a smoking jacket. It looks pretty cool. But let's see. Melissa says, I hate trunkless Superman in the New 52. Prefer the iconic trunks. I think most people prefer the iconic trunks. That's why they came back. I was okay with the trunkless. Not every version. I didn't like the Jim Lee redesign. I thought that eventually they pulled it back and made it kind of work. But I'm okay. Whatever. I get it. The trunk version doesn't work for the big screen, like the live action. It doesn't work as well. It works better on a comic page when you're drawing it. And sometimes those sacrifices have to be made, and they just want to be consistent. I get what they're doing. I'm okay. Just make the trunkless version don't not look stupid. Let's see. I am, however, I don't like the trunks on Batman. Get rid of the trunks on Batman, please. Like, I'm not a fan. Let's see. Ed Brewer says, yes, that's what I meant. Hopefully I got that right. Okay, Dane says, White Knight, Batman, and the cast are the best Batman. Love his Nightwing and Batgirl. Can't wait to see what he does with Red Hood. Amen, brother. I always say that. I tell people, I am not a Nightwing guy or a Batgirl guy, but in those books, I love Nightwing and Batgirl. Holy shit. And Batgirl gets a really huge part in Curse of the White Knight, and her story arc in that it's beautiful and it's heartbreaking at the same time. And it's just, yeah, it's all that in a bag of chips. Let's see. Jimmy says, I want Chip on FF. Fair, I can understand that. Chip kind of made his stamp on Marvel 2-in-1, which is kind of FF light. It's like the Fantastic 2 instead of the Fantastic 4. And that was what made him really pop. People were like, whoa, this is really good. And that's when I started noticing him, because before Marvel 2-in-1, despite what people talk about, his Spider-Man run was not popular. So I can understand that. I don't know. I think Captain America needs more help, right? So that's why Captain America is not that Fantastic Four is not. They're a big iconic Marvel book too, but Captain America needs more help. It's time to fix Cap, especially after what they did to him. It's no. Let's see. Melissa says, Spider-Man life story turned Captain America into a communist sympathizer, Jane Fonda and Spider-Man into a drift dodger. No, it didn't. Come on, Melissa. Vietnam was a fraudulent war pushed by the Democrats. Of all people, Melissa, you should have been against Vietnam. Captain America, I believe, would have been too. And despite any of that, life story is just a masterpiece. It's so freaking good. It brings tears to my eyes. It's a beautiful story. Melissa says, no trunk shows his bulge. You have a problem with that? I'm the one that's supposed to have a problem with that. You're not supposed to have a problem with that. Eric says, why did Scott Lobdell leave DC? Cancel culture? Taking a wild guess. Don't actually know. He has not responded to comment. I don't know. Let's see. Eric Brain says bat trunks. Ronnie says ditch bat trunks. Right on. Team Ash, ditch bat trunks. I don't even. This is a stupid topic, but it's a fun one. So tonight we have a couple of comics to read. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I thought about it, and I was like, with all this Superman nonsense that's going on in the world, after the whole Dean Cain bullshit and then Tom King talking trash about Superman and everything, and then our boy Bendis coming all over Superman, just ruining everything, I thought, you know what, part of what I wanted to do when I read these comics to you guys tonight is not just read new comics, but read comics that meant something to me, so I can share with you things that I enjoyed, and not just always like, oh, I don't know what the hell this is. So one of the books we're going to be reading is this book, which I don't know what this is, because DC does their graphic novels, their trade paperbacks, super shitty. What this is Superman, The Final Days of Superman trade paperback. There you go. They got the cover. And It's these particular comics. It's Superman 51, 52, Action Comics 51, 52, Batman, Superman 31 and 32, and Superman, Wonder Woman 28 and 29. I don't know which comic this is. I'm not going to do the whole trade paperback, and I'm not going to do all of it tonight. I'm going to start in the middle of it. So if you guys have read this and you didn't like it, then I'm sorry, because I'm going to read it again. If you read it and you did like it, hopefully you'll enjoy another take of it, because, oops, I'm not meaning to. Stupid Comixology piece of garbage. Hitting the back. Why? Oh, it's because it's a trade. Never mind. I was going too far back. All right. That's the previous. We're not going to read that one. So, this is Final Days of Superman Part 6. So there's 5 issues that I'm not going to read. I believe the whole thing is 8 issues. So I'm going to read 6, 7, 8. Maybe it's 9. So it's 3 or 4 issues I'm going to be reading. A lot of this was written by Peter Tomasi. And I believe some of it was also written by Dan Jurgens. Some of the issues. But this first issue is Peter Tomasi with Dale Eaglesham and the art. These issues have some really good art, and this whole story is worth reading. It's all good, but this particular on part 6 is where it really starts picking up. The Great Pretender, and it's I don't know. It's a really, I hear Superman, or I just hear New 52 in general catch a lot of flack, and I hear people go, oh yeah, Superman and New 52 is stupid, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't actually know too much because I didn't read a lot of the New 52. But I did read the end of the New 52 so that I could catch up for Rebirth. I read this story. And Peter Tomasi does Superman good. Like, he delivered the New 52. He did him right. Like, and this is my argument to the New 52 Superman not being bad. And hopefully I can win you over with a good story. Let's see. Eric says, na bat trunks. Ash, the trunks are important to Batman. They're water and fireproof. Well, I believe the onesie is also water and fireproof. I don't think you need trunks for that. Melissa says, Ash, thank you for clearing up the Vietnam thing. I respect Vietnam vets. A friend of mine is one. Well, absolutely, I respect Vietnam vets. It's not their fault that we waged a fraudulent war, right? My dad was a Vietnam vet, and he was a Navy corpsman. He's got 3, well, he rest in peace. He had 3 Purple Hearts. He went back for 3 tours of duty for his comrades, which I don't say that ironically or I don't know what the right. I'm not. He for his buddies, right? He couldn't leave. He went back again and again because his buddies were dying over there, and it severely messed him up in the head. And I didn't have a dad in my life because he came back crazy. And I laughed just because of the tragedy of it all. And I never really knew him until a couple years ago. And then I didn't get to know him because he didn't live much longer. So I do have all the respect in the world for Vietnam vets. And it's out of my respect that I also have a lot of resentment towards that stupid war. And I don't fault anyone that walked away from that. I don't think anyone's a draft dodger. No one should have been drafted for that. You draft for things like, oh shit, Japan is bombing us in World War II. Like, that's something you draft for. You don't draft for like, it's gonna go help this, third world country fight off communists so we can test weapons. Anyways, I'm not gonna get started on that. So I just want to clarify my position. Absolutely not dogging that. Now, having said that, having my feelings on that, in my personal headcanon, I would like to believe that Captain America would side with me. So Ed says, rest in peace, New 52 Superman. Spoiler alert. Thanks, Ed. Eric Green says you had us at 3, 2, 1. Melissa says, New 52 destroyed Harley Quinn. New 52 is Twilight garbage. Also, a friend of mine told me Flashpoint was never supposed to be a reboot. I don't know about that. New 52 was certainly supposed to be a reboot. There's garbage in New 52. There's garbage in Rebirth. But I think Rebirth might be one of the best eras of DC. You never have a perfect time. It's never perfect. Harley Quinn is a victim. Harley Quinn's not a victim of New 52. Harley Quinn's a victim of a comic company that couldn't stay committed to a character and had to chase the money and be like, oh, look, everyone. And they basically exploited the crap out of this character and ruined her for the quick buck. Well, whatever. We're gonna chase those cosplay dollars. I'm not gonna read Harley Quinn, so and hopefully she doesn't appear too much in the comics I read. Dane says, my dad was only over there for a year and still came back a different person. Sorry about your dad. Thanks, man. Lord is here. Hi, everyone. Melissa says it was an anti-communist war along with the Korean War. Yes and no. Yes, South Vietnam was against North Vietnam, which was the communists were pushing, and we were supporting the South. Same thing with Korean. But Vietnam was also part of the military-industrial complex. It was there for us to show our display of power and the weapons that we would have, because we were in a Cold War with Russia, right? That Cold War started at the end of World War II. And North Korea was part of that. It was a lot of posturing, and it was a lot of us basically going, "Don't fuck with us, Russia. We got shit." And it was a way for us to kind of get in each other's faces, without really throwing down, without World War III. But what sucks is a lot of good men had to die for that. And it didn't really do anything otherwise. And, but a lot of military contracts, a lot of people got rich making weapons. Iron Man. Yeah, where are you at, Morano? Are you defending your boy Tony Stark here? No, I'm just kidding. Lord says history boring. Oh, history. No one like history. I'm sorry, I won't talk more history. Okay, so we're going to read some Superman. I think it's about time, isn't it? We've been chatting for a little while. I got to plug in my iPad, though. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so this is some issue. If you guys know which issue this is, that'd be great. If someone can put in the chat which issue, which individual comic this is, so I can put that in the description. That would be really cool. Lord says, finally. Lord, you just showed up like 2 minutes ago. What do you mean, finally? Jesus. Kids today. It's these small, silent moments between the battles and the saves that I wish I had more of. Flying beside the woman that I love. And the woman who loves me. Now I'm going to assume, real quick, timeout, that everyone in here hasn't read it. Now I'm just guessing some of you may have, but I'm just going to pretend that you haven't because I don't know whether or not you have. So I'm going to maybe point out some things to notice. We got some green lines around here. Superman's dying. Also because it's partway into the story. Lord says, and you were speaking for an hour. That's not true, Lord. You're making stuff up now. You're making stuff up. Besides, this is a YouTube channel. I'm supposed to speak. I don't know what you're expecting. Anyways, back to the comic, because Lord's interrupting. How rude. Somehow I've just taken it for granted. So, in the New 52 Superman, he is not married to Lois Lane. He does not have a kid. He is with Wonder Woman. Just how fleeting it all is. Also, for those not familiar, this Superman is a young Superman. He's like young, mid-20s. He's barely older than Jimmy. So, it's very much different than what's going on in Rebirth. Damn, it's starting again. I thought I could keep it under control. Pain's intense. Feels like my bones are burning. Your hand was shaking. Are you all right? Just hitting a bump. I'm good. Are you sure? Maybe we should stop for a while. No pit stops till we find this energy creature who short-circuited my plan. I don't mean this to sound selfish, but I'd rather we were able to spend some time alone together instead of, well, is it necessary to see everybody? I know how you feel, but a face-to-face goodbye is something I need to do. I understand, and whatever... Cal! Batman, of course, catches him with a jet. It's only Batman. Crack. Clark! I've got you. Hope I didn't break anything. Initiate hover mode. Initiating. How about you let me do the flying? Sure. Okay. Just this once, Bruce. Let's get you settled in. Diana, second time lost equilibrium in as many days. Don't worry, I'm right here with you. Just need to rest a little. Center myself. I'll be fine. Bruce, can't we take him to one of those Lazarus pits? No. Too dangerous. I'm not sure what it would do to a Kryptonian. It might even be worse. Trust me, I've thought about... Please, no more dunking me in weird places. Let's just find my double. Okay, Clark. Now, in this story, for those who aren't up to speed, there is a double of Superman running around due to this event that happened. Superman had to use this new power that was created in the New 52 where he can go kind of supernova. He can kind of explode all of the energy that's inside him. And he does this, but doing so has taken an effect on him. He's got this kryptonite poisoning or whatever. But anyways, it had this weird effect on this other individual, and there's a complicated backstory, but nevertheless, there's a serial killer guy who now has Clark, aka Superman, imprinted on him with his powers. So he's flying around. He's kind of like a crazy Cletus Cassidy version of Superman. Do you believe I'm Superman? I believe that you believe you're Superman. And right now, that's all that matters. What do you want? Like everybody, I want to be recognized and remembered for helping people. I don't want to scare anyone. I wear the S. But you should understand that someone who wears the S doesn't leave behind a trail of innocent dead and injured. You don't hurt people. You help people. But they wanted to hurt me. I've got a right to protect myself, don't I? Yes, but not at the cost of... When I came to the Daily Planet the other day, all I wanted to do was sit at my desk and get to work, tell stories that make our city better. But they tried to lock me away forever, took me to a horrible place, a place where another Superman was there who said I was an imposter. And Wonder Woman didn't seem to care about me either. I could see it in her eyes. This guy, he thinks that he's Clark Kent because this imprint has affected his mind and his memories and stuff. Sure, if you want to tell me. So I escaped and came to the only person I feel safe with now. You, Lois. I'm glad you feel you can trust me, but let's find a way to... Do you want to know a secret? Sure, if you want to tell me. I think I'd rather show you. Salinas, California. 1938. Whites. So, during the whole Flashpoint incident, Superman of the previous multiverse, DC multiverse, avoided the Flashpoint incident. He and Lois Lane and everyone's favorite Superboy, Jonathan Kent, managed to escape and not be part of the Flashpoint event. When New 52 was created, and this Superman that we're seeing, this is the New 52 Superman, Clark got his family. I don't know the details of how it happened. I haven't read that part of the story yet, but he got his family to the New 52. So he's living in the New 52 world, but low key. He's letting the Superman of this multiverse be Superman, and he's just raising his kid. And he's going by the name White instead of Kent. I really like eating breakfast for dinner sometimes. Me too, Jono. You ate already, Ranger. Arf, arf. We can turn on the oven and keep Mom's pancakes and bacon warm until she gets home. That's a good idea. I see you've got some secret ingredients. Vanilla extract and cinnamon. Mom uses them too. Knock, knock. Mom? Nobody. That's not Mom. I smell bacon. Mind if we come in? Oh my God. Dad, he's wearing S on his... Sure, plenty for everybody. And flapjacks too. Great, I'm starving. Ruff, ruff. Nice looking family. This woman in the pictures looks just like you. The resemblance between everybody is uncanny, isn't it, Lois? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Superman, and this is Lois Lane, Daily Planet reporter in Metropolis and best-selling author. Hi, Miss Lane. Clark White. My son, Jonathan. Hello, Clark. Hi, Jonathan. Nice to meet you both. Hello. Hey, Jono. Why don't you take Ranger for a walk? I think Jono and Ranger should stay right here and eat some flapjacks with all of us while they're hot. Oh, the tension builds. Remember what we said about the S-Shield and innocent people? I'm not sure, but both of us inside here completely agree. My name's Clark too, but it's Kent. I don't have a son though. Part of me always wanted to pass on the family name, but it never seemed right at the right time. Why are you here? I don't know. I was drawn to this place. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you think you're Superman? Like I said, my name's Clark White. I'm just a husband and a father working a farm. You're the one who said you were Superman. Remember that secret I told you about, Lois? I believe it's sitting right in front of you. Punch. Stay away from my son. Zoom. And Superman just flies out with him out the roof. You dare threaten the sanctity of my home? Superman just goes to town. Just boom. Meanwhile, Pacific Coast is coming up. How are you doing? Not feeling any worse, so that's good. How long before we arrive in Metropolis? Gotham's our next stop. From the cave, we'll have a better ability to locate Clark's doppelganger or whatever that thing is. Even better than the League systems? Yes. And at this speed, figure 2 hours max to land. Clark, I'm sorry. I don't know how I could be wrong about the trace to China. I was so sure. We wasted so much damn time. Time you don't. Hey, it just proves even the world's greatest detective is human. Don't beat yourself up. At least we learned it started in Dr. Omen's lab. I just wanted to say that don't you get mushy. Apology accepted, Bruce. Now let's zero in on Clark. Feels like someone's scratching the inside of my head with a rake. Your eyes, the same flare energy that... I'm getting an energy signal that syncs up your solar flare in Salinas, California. I'm going down now. No, don't rush in. Conserve your strength. Wait until Batman lands. You heard the woman, Clark. Sit back and let me bring us in. Oomph. Are you all right, kid? I'm fine. Where's my dad, lady? First things first. We need to get you out from under this roof. Crack. Dad! Stay right here. Promise? Promise. You really do look and sound just like my mom. Screw 'em. Only one Superman will exist on this earth, and I'm him. But don't worry. I'll raise Jonathan like he's my own. Go near my son and I'll... Just then, the new 52 Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman arrive. And for the first time, Superman meets Superman. I don't understand. Who are... Quite a long story, which we have no time for, Kal-El. Now remember, the original pre-Flashpoint Superman is probably 10 years older. That's why the look's different. You probably already knew that. And this is Lois White. Oh my God. No. Jonathan. Clark. Oh my God. No. Jonathan. Clark. He hears with his super hearing. Mom? Jonathan. Thank God you're all right. Where's your... Ruff, ruff. Whoosh. Clark. Dad. By the looks on your faces, you seem just as surprised as I was seeing another Superman here. Guess he had somewhere to go. Not to worry, I'll find him later. If you finally come to invite me to join the Justice League... My answer is yes. Now let's get rid of that imposter. And that is the end of that issue. All right. What'd you guys think? I love this story. This is like my third time reading it. I really like it. Let's see. Melissa says, I like the Punisher Max Vietnam origin. That's one thing I haven't read. Ed says, Action Comics New 52 cover there. All right. Thanks, bud. I wasn't quite sure. I tried to look it up, and I just didn't find it. Pardon me. I had to get a drink of some iced tea. Melissa says, good riddance to that horrible New 52 version. I hope Batman merged with his pre-52 self. Melissa, I need to... I'm going to convert you. You're going to find out this is not a horrible New 52 version. This is Superman. And Peter Tomasi. Trust in Peter Tomasi. Lord says, I like Punisher outside of his comic, almost never in his comics. I don't know. I like Punisher when it's old school, either Frank Miller or when it was an original miniseries, and I like Garth Ennis Punisher. Let's see. Melissa is such a hater. You're a pretty big hater, Melissa. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Melissa says, no, it's not the pre-52. It's the real one. Well, it's only the real one because that's the one you accept. Let's keep in mind that DC's rebooted his universe more times than once. So, is this the post-John Byrne Superman? The pre-John Byrne Superman? The original Simon & Schuster Superman? Which one's the real? It's like the real one is kind of whichever one you choose to like best. What I'm trying to show you is that Peter J. Tomasi knows how to take lemons and make lemonade. And this is a good book. And I think if you give it a chance, you'll see. It's not always about everything, fitting exactly the way that you want, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I like this book. If I can't sell it on you, I can't sell it on you. But I'm going to keep reading it for the next couple weeks until we get through it because I really like it and I want to share. What I like about this particular issue is the family dynamic. And it's the one thing that Tomasi really sold on me when he started the Rebirth Superman, which is the whole Clark Kent, Lois, and Jonathan living on the farm, raising his boy, and just going through this. And it's just fantastic addition to what Superman already was. He didn't take away from Superman. He added, and he brought something new to the table, and he made it work in spectacular fashion. And what I love about this story is we get the introduction to that character that would become the icon for Rebirth era, but we also get a fix for the Superman of the New 52 so that he isn't just tossed to the wayside like a piece of trash. He's actually made to be something good, which is what the character should have been all along. And I really liked that. Let's see. Nolan says, I just got here. Chillmonger can suck it. Hey, Nola, what's going on? Let's see. Ash, don't worry about that race hustler. I'm not worried about him. For those of you guys, he's referring to some comment that happened in the aficionado stream this morning, and Chillmonger. I made a comment about. I said something like, "These people, da 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 da," which I was referring to like the rioters in the streets and that sort of thing. And he apparently seemed to be like, oh, what do you mean by these people? It's like, oh, shut up. You're so disingenuous. It's like, I can't stand when people argue from a standpoint of disingenuousness. Just either have a valid point and things you want. I'm willing to discuss. I'm open to ideas, or just shut up. Like, it's just, I hate when people like play ticky tacky. Like, oh, you said this. It's like, yeah. Anyways, but there was a good point that he made. Like, and I wanted to be fair about it, because it is possible that I could have misrepresented what I was trying to say. And so that's why I did the stream, and I didn't worry about it afterwards, because I got a chance to clarify exactly what I meant. And so no one could walk away purposefully misconstruing. And so that's what I did. I took the opportunity to make sure that I could not be purposefully misconstrued. Let's see. Ed says, I got all 8 issues of this arc. Yeah, you did, Ed, because you are a man of good taste. Eric says, no, are you in the chat during the aficionados this morning? You have to forgive Eric. He was like asleep halfway through that thing. I'm surprised he was conscious. Nolan says, I was pissed. He was lucky I wasn't in the chat. It's all good, though. Eric says, I was about to tee off on him. Then Ash eloquently rebuffed him. Too bad he had already slinked off by then. Yeah, that's what they do. There's no integrity. There's no, it all comes from a point of intellectual dishonesty. And it's just, it's frustrating, because you're like, why would you live your life this way? Why do you think your position's in the moral right when you have to resort to dishonest tactics? Like, you don't have the moral high ground. You have to lie and deceive in order to make your point. Thereby it's wrong. Like, I just don't understand how, for the life of me, it confounds me. It's I don't think I'll ever understand. Ash, DC Rebirth revealed. Melissa, are you spoiling stuff? Don't spoil things. I'm talking about this particular storyline. What you're talking about happens like 20 issues later in Rebirth. That's not relevant yet. So, treating a story for the way that it is, as people were reading it at the time, not knowing what was going to happen. Eric says, I was fresh as a daisy. Let's see. Morani says, I bit my virtual tongue out of respect to Wes because I was guessing the comment section, but I wanted to hit that punk like Clark White just hit the Superman clone in this book. Nice. What do you mean by you people, says Ryuk. Oh, man. See, that's funny. That's funny. I like when I appreciate jokes. Yeah, I there's just something about the way Peter Tomasi writes, and especially Superman, he brings home that family dynamic. And Superman already is like the ultimate father figure, right? And so by actually making him a father, and then the Jonathan Kent character, everyone loves Jonathan Kent. May he rest in peace, Bendis. Thanks. So I don't know. I caught myself reading this like last week. For some reason, I started flipping it open and I was like, oh, I'm going to just skim. And I ended up reading all 8 issues. I couldn't stop. And I read that and I was like, man, this is even better than when I read it the first time. It's not a perfect book, but it just does something. Tomasi gets Superman. Tomasi's probably one of my favorite Superman writers because of this. He's the one that convinced me to not just think of Superman as like, he's all right. I saw the Superman movies back in the 70s. Like, they're good. I like the Christopher Reeve Superman. It's fun, whatever. But I was never interested in buying Superman comics, I did buy The Death of Superman back in the 90s because everyone and their grandmother bought Superman, The Death of Superman. But I was like, it's boring. He's just too powerful. Like, I didn't understand the character the way I understand now. And this is the storyline that made me open my eyes and go, oh, okay. And that scene, man, when the fake Superman You know, he's like the serial killer, and he's like sitting at the table, and Clark's having to remain calm and just be like, "Oh, tell me," you know, and he's just like, "No, why doesn't your son stay here and have flapjacks with us?" I love the breakdowns and the art. I mean, Dave Eaglesham's a good artist. We talked about him when we did the Hickman Fantastic Four, and that scene I thought carries so much tension. What was just going to happen, especially when you don't know what's going to happen. You haven't read this story, so. And I just, you know, I don't know. I love the character. I'm in the weeds. Ryuk says, I missed the 2-issue Independence run, and Rebirth was just boom, wow, incredible. True family spirit and American spirit. Yeah. Rania says, with Tomasi, you get the reason why the Trinity dynamic works. Most writers just don't get it. Yeah, you get that too. And, you know, here's the thing. This is... New 52 and Rebirth is a little confusing. I came in after Rebirth was already started, so I kind of had to piece things together. But hopefully, guys, with your help, you can correct me where I'm wrong. Rebirth is New 52. I mean, I guess there's some sort of, like, merge, but, like... This Batman that we're seeing here is the Batman that we're currently seeing today. Like, New 52 didn't just, like, go away. So it's interesting to me to see a different multiverse Superman adopt this multiverse as his own. Kind of ironic considering his origin. I like this cover too. And this next issue has it's Peter De Tomasi and Jorge Jimenez was one of my favorite artists. We get to see a good collection of artists, by the way. Each of these books is done by a different, because it's not just one series. I'll get to talk about Jorge Jimenez on Tuesday, where we pick up the next. So let's exit the reader. Nola says, let's enjoy the stream. Well, hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. Like I said, I'm all talked out as far as thinking of things to talk about, because I was on 2 other streams today. But I definitely can answer questions or talk about whatever subjects you guys bring up. Let's see. Get this out of here. I was almost going to read that book, and then I flipped through it and I said, nah, that's stupid. Middlewest. Is Jimmy still here? I haven't seen Jimmy typing. He's probably playing video games and listening. He doesn't actually like to watch. He's got attention span deficit disorder, I think. Just kidding, Jimmy, if you're listening. Melissa says, Ash, I know you don't get along with Professor Geek, but the professor hates Bendis Superman. It's not that I don't get along with Professor Geek. I've never talked to him. I don't know him personally. I've never had a chance to interact with him. I would like to think we would get along. My only thing is his content is not for me. He kind of went into the whole bashing stuff too much. And look, I understand. I get salty about things. But he made a video where he basically went off and called anyone who defended Disney Star Wars a dumbass. And he went off for like 20 minutes, just like, you're a dumbass, just, there's no reason, there's no way you can defend that. I was like, dude, this is, whatever. You used to be this like highbrow, like educational, you come from a point of a university professor, and then this is just trash. But that's just my personal opinion. Everyone's got different content that they like. I mean, obviously, based on the number of viewers I have, most people don't want to watch what I do. I'm not judging. I wish he would go back to this content that I did like, though. That would be my preference. But yeah, I don't have any ill will towards the guy. And the fact that he doesn't like Bendis, I mean, I think the guy understands writing. He had a whole channel based about it, so it makes sense that he doesn't like Bendis Superman. It's just not good. It's terrible. I don't like to. I try to not use the term objectively bad, but I feel like it's objectively bad. Let's see. Ronnie says, "Hey, I'm relearning a lot of DC Universe along with you, Ash. I was a pure Marvel zombie for years. You and me both." Man, this is one of the coolest things about getting back into comics and doing the DC is I felt like it was back when I was a kid and getting to discover the Marvel Universe and these characters that I didn't know. It's the same type of thing. You just sort of jump in and start swimming, and you're like, "Oh, what's going on? Who are these guys?" Nola says, "I'm just starting to read DC. Nola Nerd, I have bought Batman for their Dark Designs run. That's the first DC besides White Knight I've ever bought." Wow. Nola says it's really good. Melissa Harris says, "Ash New 52 is gone. Dr. Manhattan. Seen to that, it's also Dan Didio is gone." But where does it tell the story that it's gone? Because my understanding is that Doomsday Clock was supposed to tell that, and it didn't really. Not to the way that I fully got it, which is why I was reaching out to you guys, because it seems to me that Rebirth is the new 52. Because it didn't bring back, like, I'm missing how Rebirth isn't the same universe and world. And if there's a certain book, trade paperback or something that someone can point me to and say, "Here's where it explains it, Ash," say, point me to that so that I could go and do my homework. Ryuk says, "Never liked that guy, too snobby for me." Yeah, I don't know. I try to. I know that I can be very opinionated. I know that's one thing about me. I'm very. That's why I do this channel. It was just an outlet for me to just get out there and blow my opinions out to the world. But I always try to really respect where other people come from, and I really enjoy trying to see other people's perspectives that aren't mine, even if I disagree with them, and especially if I disagree with them. I find it interesting when you have a different take. And I try to step in your shoes and figure out what it is that you're seeing that makes you have a different take. And I think the idea of just being like, "Oh, you're stupid if you like this," like the closest thing I could think of is something like Tom King's Heroes in Crisis, right? It's one of the worst pieces of trash I've read. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you like that? Well, you're a dumbass." Like, I would disagree with you. I would say, "Man, I would try to convince you of why it's not good, but not because I think you're stupid or anything like that, just because we have different perspectives." That's usually what it comes down to, I think, when it's like, especially with like dealing with art and things like that. That's where subjectivity is, why we have subjectivity. But yeah, the idea of just being like, "Oh, you don't like this book? Well, you're stupid." I think that's just weird to me. It's as weird as saying like, "Oh, you don't like this type of food? You're stupid." No, we just have different taste. Never watched Professor Geek. Has a friend does live streams with. Wait, he has a friend he does live streams with that I like to listen to. Well, you're supposed to share. I don't know who you're talking about. Professor loves Star Wars and classics and is passionate. He also hates SJW. I agree. He does. And that's the thing. We probably would get along if we were sat in a room and talked to each other. The presentation of the way he does things, it's not my bag. Professor live streams are fun. He does movie rewatch. Eric says, Ash has his opinions in which he agrees with me. Then he has his wrong ones. Yep. Every once in a while, I have a good opinion where I agree with Eric, but most of the time, I'm just off. Let's see. Ed says, the way I understood it, New 52 is the foundation of Rebirth. Rebirth took the foundation and changed what wasn't working and selling. That's the way I understand it too. But that's just a concept. What I don't understand is the execution. How is Rebirth technically different? My understanding, and again, I came in when Rebirth was already going, so I had to go backwards and pick up the Rebirth stories. But I didn't read, with the exception of the Superman, I didn't read the New 52 stuff, so I don't know where the transition. I just read the new Rebirth #1 books. To me, it's the same characters. Like, I don't see how it's different. All right, so for tonight's main event, I hope you guys are all got your blankie on, you got your lights off, tucked into bed. I gotta drink. Reading these books out loud is tough, especially when you try to do voices. Hopefully the voices aren't bad. I could read everything in same voice, but that would be weird. I don't know what you guys would prefer. Have you guys been enjoying this book at all? I've been really enjoying it. I know my boy Dane loves it. He's been picking up he's got the first trade. We talked about that earlier. Let's see. Lord says, I have no idea. I returned reading comics after Rebirth happened. Well, that's kind of me too. I came in reading comic. Rebirth was like, oh, hey, there's something good going on. Me and him both are single parents, raised autistic kid. I can relate to him. Melissa, I totally understand. Like, that's a personal relation. Like, you relate to him. And like I said, I have no personal feelings towards the guy. Like, I'm not trying to judge him. I'm just trying to say the content of the videos themselves, just aren't the way, they don't appeal to me, I guess. I used to watch him. I really liked what he was doing. Then he changed his format, and the new format I didn't like. The new format is like New 52 for me. I guess that's a good way to put it. Like, his old format was like old school DC. Then he went to New 52, and I was like, I'm tuning out. But I have no personal ill feelings towards the guy. I'm not like, screw him. I'm not like that at all. Like, like I said, I probably, if we sat and had a beard, probably get along. At least I would hope. Maybe he'd think I was an asshole. I don't know. Ed says, I may need to reread Future's End. Okay, this is another thing that I have, and I probably could Google it, but you guys are easier. How's the chronological order go with Rebirth? Like, going backwards, I guess. So Rebirth, and then right before Rebirth, we have New 52. And then what led to New 52? Was that Future's End? So I need to like get some key reading stuff so that I can understand the whole history of what's going on better. Because DC is really freaking hard to absorb. If you haven't been following DC the whole time, it's not like Marvel, which has just kind of like one continuity. Like, DC is constantly like, oh, we got a crisis, and oh, there's a big rebooting this, and da-da-da-da, and then, oh, things are converging, oh, the future's ending, oh, it's the road to New 52, and then now it is New 52. It's like, Jesus, where did things, I don't get this, multiverse, and there's, oh, this Earth, that was Earth 3, this is Earth 2, this is Earth 12, you're like, oh, fuck me. It's really daunting. It's like, Marvel's just like, and we got a Marvel universe. Oh, okay. And you just, there's shit that's happened. Oh, okay. It's like, there's a lot that's happened, but it's not like, it's just a lot in a long timeline, and you don't have to know everything. And then when you do need to know something, it can just get explained. But in DC, you got to be like, well, you see, this happened, and then the universe got rebooted, and then oh god, I don't know, I'm confused. Let's see. Ryux says, honestly, I'm very lost. Okay, well, at least I don't feel alone. All I remember about Superman in 52 is he became a god in the Dark Side Wars, and then he became weak somewhere down the line. Melissa says, I recommend you take out Cinemassacre. Dr. Manhattan caused the New 52. Okay, that I do understand. Doomsday Clock explains that. But from what I'm reading in Doomsday Clock, and it explains that it created the New 52, it doesn't indicate that. It indicates that what's currently happening in the DC universe is because of Dr. Manhattan, which tells me that the New 52 is also the current. It's that same multiverse. New 52 melded into Rebirth. Future's End is after New 52. So between New 52 and Rebirth. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Lord says Marvel is better in some respect. I can understand. It's more appealing to me. I like the Marvel universe better than the DC universe. I'm only reading DC because it's executed way better. Like Marvel's just. Ed says the next one-shot book could be Rebirth #1. The next one-shot book of what? I don't know what you're talking about. Eric's comments make me excited to just read Batman and White Knight and stay put. Haha. Oh, what did you do, Eric? I've been reading DC for 45 years and I'm still lost, he says. All right. Honestly, I'm not upset. Like I find the challenge fun. Like I like the big complicated world and I like discovering things. That's to me one of the big fun things about comics. When I hear people go, I don't know how to start comics, it's too daunting. It's like just dive in. Like that's the fun. You just dive in and pick up a book and start reading it, and then you're going to be confused at first, but you'll just start putting things together, and it's like a puzzle, right? You start off, you got a million pieces on the table, but then you start putting things together, you find the edges, and then the picture starts becoming clear. Comics are very much that way to me. I really enjoy that, but at the same time, when I'm trying to talk about them, it can be difficult, especially when I'm talking around knowledgeable people like you guys, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Dr. Manhattan gave his powers to a boy named Clark, who was raised by the Night Owl and Silk Spectre. Correct. That's Melissa, you got to stop spoiling things. Jesus. Oh my goodness. Noah says, yeah, I just don't know the characters. Who is your favorite DC character, not Hawkman? Superman. Yeah, not even a question. I think Superman's my favorite character, even with Hawkman. It's just that the Bendis Superman makes me want to stab my face. Start with Lois Lane #1. Shut up, Eric. Why do you... Eric is completely trolling right now. Lois Lane #1 is... It's going to make you want to punch puppies. All right. Speaking of punching puppies, let's dive into this whimsical fantasy that our boy Jimmy couldn't even be around. You know what? I read his favorite character tonight, Superman, and I'm reading the book that he recommended, and he couldn't even bother to be here. I'm so disappointed. Lord says Booster Gold. Eric says his is Naomi. Shut up. You're such a troll. Ronnie says, Eric, you're like a brother to me, but that sends you straight to the naughty corner. Melissa says, I'm sorry, Ash. Lord says, punch cats. No, punching cats is what you should do normally. Punching puppies is when you're really driven insane. I'm just kidding. Don't punch animals. I'm an animal lover. But I'm a dog guy, not a cat guy. Cats can suck it. All right. You guys are talking a lot. I enjoy talking with you, but I got to get to the book. Step right up, 5 or 3, 10 for 5. Get 3 in the hoops and take your pick from the bottom. Or if you like your luck, make 3 more and win yourself one of the big guys on the top. You got to play to win and you got to pay to play. What about you, kid? You feel lucky? Now, if you haven't been following the story, quick synopsis. Little boy in a weird fantasy world called Middlewest has a kind of really strict, semi-abusive father, doesn't get along, runs away from home, finds himself in issue 2 with some mysterious wizard. He suffered a wound in the first issue that put this weird, mysterious, magical tattoo on his chest. The wizard sees this, trying to cure him. Can't figure it out, needs to refer to someone else. But in the meantime, the boy runs away again to find this madam, who's coincidentally the same person the wizard was trying to find. And he finds him at this circus thingy. And he's trying to figure out how to cure himself, I guess. That's the really short story part of it. Not even a little bit. Come on, folks, toss a dart, pop a balloon, get a prize, everyone's a winner. Sharpshooter, how good is your aim? Cock and lock, let's see if you can win the game. How old do you suppose this rusty beast is? 1,000? 2? We should have scrapped this thing years ago. If they threw out all the broken rides, why would they keep us around? Good point. Let's wrap this up. We also have to tune up the salt and pep. Hey, watch where you're going, kid. Sorry. What's up with that sad sack? Doesn't he know he has a Hearst Family Amusements? Most fun place in the Middle West, the Earth, the galaxy. Hey, you still back here? Can you keep it down? Some of us are trying to get a little sleep. I think we got played by Jeb. No luck finding the mystical Magdalena? No, and I looked everywhere. She's not here. There's nothing even resembling a mystic. I guess we should consider the possibility that she's dead? I know, I thought that too. I should have known better than to trust some homeless wizard. Seriously, why would I trust some crazy old man when he's all, hey kid, come spend the night in my junkyard in the woods. I totally have your best interest in mind. Crazy or not, he was right about your mark. It's getting worse. Whatever. The geezer, this mark, none of it will matter because if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die if I don't eat soon. First, let's take the drama down about 2 notches. Second, hunger's an easy fix. Come on. Where are we going? This is a carnival. They're known for games, rides, and food. There's just one little problem, though, and that is, I have no money. Luckily, you have me, and I've been getting by without money for quite a while now. What? You mean you steal? Are you serious? Do you remember what happened the last time I was talked into stealing? Yeah, but this is different. You're not swiping snacks with your pals. This is you being out here on your own. Don't look at it as stealing. Look at it as surviving. Surviving, huh? Yup. Life and death, kid. Now who's being dramatic? You'll thank me later when your belly's full of corn dogs and elephant ears. From real elephants? Jeez, kid. You really haven't lived a single minute of your life, have you? We tightened up the slingshot so that it should be good for a few more trips. John's working on the big wheel today and is complaining about... Hey, you all right, boss? I don't know exactly. Do you know him? Who? That kid that just walked by? Nah, I saw him earlier, all mopey and whatnot. You know how these brats are? His parents probably wouldn't buy him a third round of cotton candy. Why? You see something? No, it's nothing. Go tend to John and the wheel. If it's nothing, why are you walking away acting like your daddy just sent your dog to live in the farm? Don't you worry about me, but do me a favor and keep an eye on that kid. You wondering why the boss cares about some random kid? No, but I am wondering why I seem to be the only one fixing anything today. Well, who peed in your bowl of bolts this morning? That's the third time you've pulled that burn out this week. It might be time for you to develop some new material. Before you get to that, can you plug the condenser cable back in? Wait, who the hell's talking? I hate when comics do this. Wait, did you clean out the haze filter? Yes. What about the field converter? If I plug this in and you forgot to check that, well, it's bye-bye, Bobby. How would you feel? A little disappointed, since I did check the field converter and I won't be able to find out how I would feel if I hadn't. I know you didn't replace that spark stone. I know you created me, but sometimes I would very much like to never have met you. Now that was just mean. Oh my, Kyle, look at this. There's a fox on our counter. I could see that. Let's get it off our counter. No way. I think this is good luck. A fox shows up on your doorstep. This isn't our doorstep. It's our corn dog stand. So let's give it a corn dog. Giving our food to some dirty fox means losing money. That's the opposite of lucky. Oh, come on. Don't be such a stick in the mud, honey. Oh. Wow. Look at you. You're a natural. See, kid? What did I tell you? You're right. Corn dogs are all I never need in life. You're almost right. But the only way to finish things off after the joy of beer franks dipped in fried golden batter is more fried batter, this time topped with powdered sugar. There's no getting in there. How are we supposed to pull off this distract and snag on this one? You're right. We're going to have to pay for this one. There's the small problem of us not having any money. That just means we'll have to pull an oopsie doopsie. You're just making this stuff up now, right? What? You don't trust me? Have I ever steered you wrong? Yes, many times. Pretty much all the times. Like, wait, look there. He'll do. Now all you have to do is... Oh my God, so sorry, mister. Here, let me help you. It's okay, I got it. And that is an oopsie doopsie. How did we make out? Oh man, looks like it's your lucky day. What do you think, Wrench? I'd say he and Lady Luck will not be crossing paths anytime soon. Wait, I can explain. It's just that... Let me guess. You don't understand. I'm so hungry. I have no money. I had no choice. Well, sort of. Yes, all of those. None of what matters. What about the guy you stole the wallet from? Maybe he's got a wife, kids. Maybe one of them is here on their birthday, and now they can't pay for... Ah! You stupid little mangy little... What are you just standing around for? Run. Get off me and go after that kid. We don't know the town well enough to find him if he makes it off the fairgrounds. What's the plan? That's up to you, kid. You're on your own this time. Are you serious? You got me into this mess and now you're leaving me? Yep. Good luck. Oh, that is an appropriate reaction to your current predicament. He's running, pulls out the tent stake. Ooh. Still running. Hopping a fence. Robot's chasing him. Throws a popcorn machine in front of him. Starts climbing on top of what I'm guessing is a funhouse. The robot chases him to the roof, it appears. And does he robot push him off? I can't tell what's happening here. He falls through a tent. You've had your fun, kid, but it's over now. Please, I'm sorry. Just let me go. You'll never see me again. Can't do it, kid. Word on the Hearst folk allowing pickpockets to run free through the fair would be bad for business. You're gonna have to come with us to see the boss. No, I won't. All right, that's enough. If he doesn't want to come willingly, we're going to have to take him. No, you. Uh-oh. The kid has the power. Oh my gods. And that's the end of that issue. Ooh. So, this power, for those of you who haven't followed every issue, just to help make some sense of things. In the first issue, when he's running away from his dad turned into this tornado monster thing. And then he touched him in the chest. And that's how he got this scar, or this tattoo thing. And so now it seems apparent, based on what we just saw, that this power, or maybe it's a curse, was transferred over to him. And it seems, based on what we saw with the dad, that this is something that happens when you get angry. So it's kind of reminds me of the Hulk, I guess. All right. I like this robot. This robot was fun. Marani says, actually, I like the dead is dead rule in the Murphy verse. Sure. The dead is dead rule should apply pretty much always. I don't think the Murphy verse is going to get enough stuff for really it to matter. My only concern is that Sean's got 2 stories so far in the Murphyverse, and he's killed 2 major characters. So I'm just like, dude, you haven't gone that far. Let's see. Lord says, don't use my name in vain. We don't even know what your name is. We just call you Lord. Nola says, I like cats. They love me too. Here's a little secret, Nola. Cats don't love anybody. Eric says, Venkman left the corner a mess again. Oh, no. Rania, that Garney guy looks like Joker without the white makeup. He's a crazy Carney guy. Dane says, don't bogart the snickerdoodles, Breen. I like snickerdoodles. Melissa says, bye, guys. Well, it's one of 2 things. It's either Melissa's bedtime or Texas Rangers on. Well, maybe 3 things. Maybe Professor Geek is streaming, but it seems kind of late for Professor Geek to be streaming. I don't know. But anyways, Melissa, it was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for swinging by and watching. I hope you enjoyed the jibber jabber, and I hope you enjoyed the 2 comics. And hopefully I'll see you Tuesday. Dane says, this is the 3rd time through this book for me this week, and I'm still captivated. Awesome. I love sharing enthusiasm with comics. Like I feel like I'm salty a lot. I'm like reading books and you're like, what the frick is this crap? You know, like getting like old, get off my lawn, old man. But it's really more fun to share the enthusiasm and geek out over it and have people that are like, that like it like you do. You know, you're like, oh, this is so good. And I'd be like, yeah. Dane says Wrench is a great character. His snark and his young female creator is hilarious. Melissa says night. Sweet dreams. And that is the end of the chat. You guys are all done talking, it seems. Well, it's another successful stream, it appears. And 2 books down. Hopefully, like I said, you're enjoying the books. Next Tuesday, we'll be reading part 7 of that Superman story. Like I said, I think there's only 3 or 4 parts to read. It's not long. I didn't start from the beginning, even because I just didn't want to read an 8-part story for you. But I encourage you, if you enjoyed it at all, it would make it better if you read the first 5 parts before where I started today. Where I started today was where the old school Superman comes into the picture, and for me, it was like a big reveal part of the storyline. And that's my favorite part. But the previous books were good too. It just focuses more on the New 52 Superman, focuses more on that imposter guy that's created and what he's doing. But this is where shit hits the fan, so to speak, where it's like, oh shit, there's Clark White and Superman meets Superman, and that's like everything comes to a head and this story really gets going. And then there's some good emotional moments we're going to be seeing. So I can't wait to read it again, but I just didn't want to do 8 issues. Dane says, doze during the Superman, wide awake for this. Oh, Dane, you dozed during the Superman. I'm so disappointed. Eric Breen says, zzz. Eric, I'm surprised you're awake, Eric. You must have took a nap today, because you only got a couple hours of sleep, but I got less sleep than you did. I only got 3 hours. And I didn't take a nap today, and I'm still here for you guys. But I guess that's going to be all. I don't want to beleaguer the point, which is I often do. Thank you so much again for taking the time to join. I look forward to seeing you guys every episode. Like I said, I'm open to suggestions on things. Not guaranteed to always take it, but if you don't suggest, you're going to have to live with my picks. And, hopefully I don't pick too many bad things. And hopefully if I pick something bad, it's bad enough to where we can have fun with it. Thanks very much for watching. Have yourself a